Hey guys, what's going on? Today I got another mod for my Focus. This is a intake, a short ram style intake for my Focus, obviously, as I have said. This came from a nice man named Jeff in Illinois. I'm pretty sure that is. I'm not that hot on my state abbreviations, but he must did a really good job packaging because there's a filter in here as well. So I've not opened this yet. This just came in today, a couple minutes ago, so punch this guy open, we'll see. Enter the very dull knife. This is going to be replacing the stock setup that I have on there now. If you go back in my videos, you might find that I had a very cheap type setup, but this was a very good price, so I jumped on it. I think this originally came from, just make sure that's centered for you guys. This originally came from Massive, I want to say. Massive, or it was a DIY type of thing, but it's a little note of how to put it together. Nice. There's the elbow that goes into the MAF sensor, and then there's an elbow that goes over here, which is right here. Excuse the mess. It is a teenager's room after all, so that goes on there. Just like that. It'll obviously fit on better, but that's a general look. And then this filter. Just a really nice filter, by the way. He cleaned it up for me before he sent it. That's nice. This filter sits on, there's going to be a my MAF sensor, which goes right here, and then the filter on top of that. So he did a good job packing that, actually. The filter is nice and lubed up, ready to go. So I will get to work putting this on. It looks like I need to loosen that. Pretty tight fit, which is good because then I won't have any air leaks. I think this silicone, it's blue underneath of here, obviously, because this is just electrical taped, which I'm probably going to end up leaving that on there for now. But it is blue underneath, as you can maybe see a little bit. But this is, there you can see it, blue. I think, what is this by? I forget who actually, chipping off a little bit, I forget who actually made this. The silicone, because it's not the brand that came with it. But yeah, I will piece this together and I'll catch you guys here in a minute. Alright guys, so here I am back. This is the stock setup that is in my car right now. It's just the stock box with the intake resonator removed. But to get all of this separated, I'm going to need a, I think, no, where's my Torx? Here it is. T20 Torx for the MAF sensor, any size screwdriver for the clamps, and the bolts for the actual box, because I'm going to leave the bottom half in so I have something to rest the filter in. And then here's this. I have to find a little wrench for that guy. As you can tell, the weather is just peachy here, but once I get all that on, it should fit nice. Kind of excited because they told me that this would be here tomorrow, not today, so that's nice. So let's get to work taking off the MAF bolts first. I'm going to unclip my MAF sensor so the wire doesn't get in the way. One thing to note is I would do this when your car is at least a little bit cold because you're working next to a motor or engine, whatever, how you like to say it. Keep those somewhere safe. So it is so you don't kill yourself with heat, because intake parts do get pretty hot. The reason why I'm leaving the stock bottom half of the box in is because the snorkel is here and that meshes into the bottom of half of this box. I'll show you when that's all off. So I'm going to fast forward here, take off the screws here for the air box. Alright, there we go. Now one thing you'll have to note if you're getting an intake like this is you may or may not have to buy one of these, which is a little breather filter. It goes back in here to the valve cover. These are like $5-6, and then I have actually this is a hose adapter for a water balloon filler. It was the perfect size and my filters fit right in there. It looks ugly, but it works. So here is the stock filter, which I'm fairly sure is original to the car. This is a low mile car. This has 39,000 miles on it, so there's that. Set that off to the side because I won't be needing that for a little while. And since I loosen up the nuts or the screws for the MAF housing, the top half pops right off. And this is going to stay in here even though it's floppy, because you can tell that it broke down here. But it'll hold itself in there once the filter is on. So now I have to loosen up the screws here at the throttle body, or the screw, the clamp, so I can take this stock tube off. So there's that, and I need to save this MAF housing, so I need to loosen up this as well. Probably would be a lot easier with a socket, but I'm lazy. So I just grabbed a screwdriver if I don't stab myself with it. That looks yummy. Ugh. You know, these have been sticking a little bit. Wow. Didn't think it stuck that bad. There we go. Okay. Make sure you do not touch your MAF, by the way. One thing I'm going to do, since I have my MAF off, is I'm going to use some mass airflow sensor cleaner. Clean this guy off so I have a nice clean MAF. Alright, I'm going to let that guy dry as I figure out the rest of this here. Now this is going to go over the throttle body, obviously. Maybe. Have to loosen that guy up a little bit. Let's go. Alright guys, so after some haggling, I finally figured out this intake. I mean, I didn't really figure it out, but I know how it works, but this elbow was a little bit too small. It was the exact same size as the throttle body, so we just had to squeeze it over a little bit. But that's on there good. There's no air leaks there. I have my lower half of the stock box in there, as you can see. I'm not sure if you guys can see. Well, actually, I'll get you a flashlight here. So that right there, not sure if you guys can see it, that circular piece is where the snorkel comes. It goes from underneath of the battery up into there, so that'll stay in there if I take the box out. But then again, zip tie. But I have the box helping hold the filter here, so there's a better view of that broken piece. But yeah, it sounds really good. Its engine's cold right now, so I'm not gonna start it up and rev the piss out of it. Plus, it's really early in the morning, so yeah, it fits really well. It looks pretty good in there. Like I said, one thing I have to do is get a breather filter like that, because that's where it used to be. But there's no port on here for one, so it's just one thing I have to keep in mind. I've been checking it, you know, making sure it's been tight and stuff, and all of it looks pretty good. So yeah, good install. Just gotta make sure pieces, parts aren't rubbing anywhere and won't cause any issues in the long run, but I think we're okay right now. I'm not sure what that's from. But yeah, good install, sounds great, looks good in there, and for 60 bucks, can't really beat it. So yeah, SRI filter on my Focus. Or filter, wow, intake. It's early in the morning, I haven't had coffee yet. But yeah, finally I have intake and half of my exhaust done. I still have the stock header and cat, which I'm hoping that could go soon. I gotta figure out where that goes. I'm sorry that I couldn't show more of the install. I guess I can show you the stock pieces parts quick, because I didn't finish it until late that night of the recording. This is now the second day after. So this is the stock piece. And the stock intake tube. I'm not sure if it adds any more flow, because the diameter of the tubing looks a little bit bigger than that, and this has more bends in it. As you can see, this is more of a bent piece, and this is obviously straight. I'm not sure if the diameter is any bigger. It doesn't look like it, but I could be wrong, because I think this has a thicker plastic wall, and that's like almost like exhaust tubing. I mean, plus this flex joint adds a little bit of whoop-de-doo in there, but still a good piece. I'll probably end up having to hold on to this just in case anything goes wrong. So I'm going to put it over here with the other pile of car parts. This is my old filter that I had just stuck on the end of the MAF sensor, which would be like right here where this guy is. This is a good filter, but I don't know if you guys can see, it's really rusted, and looks like a sunflower seed. Not quite sure how that one got in there. It just needs a desperate cleaning pretty badly. Like the filter webbing started to come off. It's all kind of rust colored. It was supposed to be white at some point. Or not white, like a light gray. Here's that. I have an extra clamp if I need it. I have some extra exhaust parts and a few cloths that I'll actually probably need. I need to wash my windows or wipe it down because it's greasy when I went to the drag strip. More like a one-time use towel. Oh, they got a couple of them, okay. Actually, one thing I want to address, it'll be the third time when I'm done. One thing I want to address is I just passed, clamp looks a little tight. I just passed, it's loose actually. I passed 200,000 video views a couple days ago, and I have 175 subscribers at the time of this. I'm not sure what the exact amount is. It's somewhere in that ballpark. But thank you guys for all that. That's great. That drag strip video that I put out 2 videos before this one, pretty sure, that got me 40 views in the evening that it was up, so that was the fastest that's ever gone up. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Looks like my channel's growing a little bit. I'm still learning with all of this stuff and editing all good programs and all that good stuff. I'm still using what you call it, iMovie and it's double-sided. iMovie and Windows Movie Maker. iMovie won't be very long because it's my senior year of high school and my laptop goes away with them, my MacBook Air. So, yeah. Anywho, thank you guys for watching this video for the 3rd time. Can't say it enough. And thanks for 200,000 video views and almost 200 subscribers. It'd be cool if they were on the same day, but you know, might be asking for a little bit too much. Windex, I thought it was somebody walking up here. But thank you guys. Talk to you later.